What is going on, everyone? Today just wanted to do kind of a different style video, one I've been wanting to do for a while, especially getting a huge Nintendo Power collection and slowly but surely trying to work on those. Basically, I just want to go through and kind of view some different Nintendo Power issues and kind of go over and talk about them. And what better way to start than with the first issue, which features Super Mario Bros. 2. On the cover, it's got Mario in blue overalls, which is unique, but it's also got Wart, who is somebody you hardly ever see anymore. So whenever you open the magazine, the first thing you're going to see is a Nintendo Power power line, basically telling you if this magazine's not enough, you're going to have to call this number and rack up your parents' phone bill. And you can actually see, if you zoom in, there's actually like a prototype version of the first issue, and it's not claymation, it's actually looks like hand drawn, so that's pretty cool. Scroll on to the other one. It's just a welcome talking about the premiere issue of Nintendo Power and basically what you have in store for this. So here we have the contents. The main thing it's jumping off right at the bat is Super Mario Bros. 2. It's also talking about the second quest of Zelda. The Counselor's Corner, it also looks like in the first issue they had Howard and Nestor. There was a ongoing comic book series, and also it's showing a free fold-out poster. On the next page, kind of looking at some of the players' forum stuff, talking about like the NES Journal, the mailbox, the archives, video spotlight, and a top 30. So here we have the first part of the magazine, which is the main part. Talking about Super Mario Bros. 2, you see Welcome to the World of Dreams, kind of spoiling the first part of the main part of the game right at the start. Here we have some really cool artwork, some that I don't think you ever see anywhere else, and it's just really cool to see all this hand-drawn artwork, basically going off the exact sprites. Here you have basically how to play. You gotta remember, whenever this game came out, there was only the original Super Mario Brothers that came out on the NES a few years prior, and it was just you running right and avoiding obstacles. This game, you're going vertical and all over the place, and you're not actually jumping on enemies, you're throwing stuff, vegetables, and even enemies at enemies. And here's some of the different ways to get rid of the enemies, as I had just mentioned, talking about like lifting them, sliding hit, using bombs and vegetables and stuff. It's actually pretty fun just to get on like a Shy Guy or something and just kind of ride it out for a little bit. And here's Mario again in those weird blue overalls, as you can see right here. And also we have Mario with these yellow gloves as well. Here are some of the key items that you're going to find. Some returning things like mushrooms, Starmans, and shells and stuff. Also some new things like a rocket and the vegetables, the sprouts, and even the mushroom blocks and potions, which are kind of like what leads you into subspace. Here's just a really cool thing showing off all of the different enemies that are in the game. You can really tell that these were just taken straight off of a TV, but they're really cool to see. Like some of these guys, I had no idea they had names, but it's very cool to see kind of the effort they took just to take a picture of each one of these and kind of just add them to the magazine. Here is some very cool artwork kind of all over the place with the Mario gang like in a track and field type environment. You have Shy Guys and everything all over the field, even the rocket from the game. You flip over to the next page, you're going to have like Toad and Birdo and Wart kind of all in the same track and field. And these are just it's called the Super Mario Bros. 2 Sports Festival. It's basically just showing off all of the talents that each character in the game has, which is a pretty cool concept to kind of show that off. So here classic Nintendo power, all of the tips and everything, some secrets that are very well hidden. If you're a kid, you're not going to figure these out unless you have the power or it's just some sheer miracle. But looking at the maps, I can't tell. I guess they're hand-drawn, and that's pretty awesome that somebody took the time to sketch out the whole map and everything. Again, there's the Mario in the different color setup. The outfit's just a little bit different with the different style blue overalls and everything. It's mainly the hat that throws this whole costume off, because obviously Mario's overalls are blue, but the blue hat just kind of makes it seem like fully wrong instead of just like one thing wrong. Again, this part's just basically showing different things you can do in the game, how to destroy the little bosses and everything, showing off Birdo with some very just blurry screenshots. But again, these maps are amazing, and I honestly can't tell. It looks like they might just be like individual screenshots and then they've lined them up, because I see the breaks there, but that's still taking a lot of effort. Well, yeah, because there's the different life bars and stuff kind of acting up. And again, talking about World 2, again, just showing off different tips and tricks. Probably a lot of this people already know because this game's really old, but it's pretty cool to see that this was the game that kind of led off Nintendo Power. And there's some more tips on World 3. All of this artwork is very cool. I mean, you have like the classic Mario style artwork there, but he's got the blue hat, and I'm wondering what the deal is with the blue hat, because it's not even on all the artwork either. You see down here, he's got his red hat, but he's also got the yellow gloves, so it seems like if he's got his red hat, he's going to have yellow gloves. I'm not exactly sure what that was supposed to be. Here's a very cool artwork of just Mario and Mouser as well, holding up all the bombs. It's really cool. And again, just going through different worlds. I don't want to spend too much time on this just because, like I said, people probably already know these tips, and if not, you can pause the video and just kind of stare and take your time with it. Here's a pretty cool Mario art. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but Mario holding a pistol that's pretty unique. And there's also that classic Mario artwork with the blue hat. I need to research more and see if there's a meaning behind the blue hat. I'm not sure. There it is again. Again with the blue hat. Here's a pretty cool one. Mario with the key, again with the yellow gloves. The best thing about just going through these old Nintendo powers is the little artworks that they've drew, kind of just corresponding with like what world they're talking about. I'm not sure if these artworks are fully in the manual or not. I've never really just fully went through the manual and looked at it, but it's very cool to see. Alright, so after the Mario, you're jumping straight into Zelda, and basically it's going ahead and showing you how to do the second quest on Legend of Zelda, putting in Zelda as the username, which is really cool. I mean, I was just kind of fascinated by this early Zelda artwork and stuff, and also the fairy. Some of this Link artwork, I mean, it's just timeless to me. And here's just some different strategies, kind of focusing on Zelda and the second quest, and kind of some different things that you might not realize when going into it and stuff. It looks like it goes fairly fast through the game. It's kind of, I'm surprised that Nintendo let that slide, a book with a cross on it. The magic book with a cross, maybe reference to a Bible. I'm not sure what it is in Japan. I know with like Devil World and stuff, that's why it didn't come over to the US, because there was so much religious icons, however you want to say it, involved with it. This is very cool. blue bubble artwork. Sorry, getting a little sidetracked here. A lot of this artwork I've seen. If you have the Topps Nintendo cards, I know a lot of the stickers have these artworks. Specifically, this one I have vividly in my head. I think it says like Link or something like that. Again, it's very cool. Just seeing this hand-drawn artwork. Nothing like you get today, because everything's just kind of animated and stuff and already put out for you. And again, just talking about different weapons and stuff. Here's actually a full map of Hyrule and stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so there's this big map. I'm assuming this was the poster of the magazine. I'd say, judging by the scan, this is. Rbi Baseball, I know a lot of people consider this one of the best sports games. I've never played it or even attempted to, so I can't speak to it. Bases Loaded, I know, is huge. I think there's like 4 of them on NES or something, so obviously had to have a following. I know that's a big thing in them, kind of being the team manager and going through that stuff. I assuming this is what a typical baseball team manager looks like. We just spent a lot of time on there. So here we have kind of the counselor's corner, and this is just kind of going over some different tips that you might know. Basically, players will send in letters if you're stuck and you're constantly stuck there. This is kind of a freebie to kind of help you out of the situation. And here's a really cool one just for Metroid, kind of a real little map. I mean, this is zoomed in, and this is pretty small, but you gotta think for the time, this was the only way. I like how the morph ball is still the Marumari there. Nice little reference. That's what it's called in Japan. I don't know if it changed to morph ball after the English translation or not. Here's some of the Super Mario, the Infinite 1-Up glitch. There's a very cool Kid Icarus one. Telling you how to beat Hue Draw. Some advice for that. Castlevania, Akari Warriors, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. There they give you the address to reach out, and also a nice little phone number with the times from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time. So that's working some hours. This is the first Howard and Nestor comic. Nestor was kind of like a mascot for Nintendo Power. He actually does have a game. It's on a Virtual Boy. It's Nestor's Funky Bowl, and it's like, I feel like it's one of the more expensive Virtual Boy games. And here's just kind of his debut, so you can pause and read it. I've never fully read much of the Nintendo Power comics. I know there's like a Star Fox one, a Zelda one, a Mario one, and a Metroid one. I've read the Metroid and the Zelda because Zelda came out in a big graphic novel with all the Nintendo Power comics just kind of thrown in there. And here's some more classified information. And basically this is like the developers of the game kind of giving you inside secrets and stuff about the game. So Contra, Gunsmoke, Rad Racer, Athena, you got Punch Out again, Green King Ninja Kid. Some of these NES games I've never heard of either. Here's a very cool Double Dragon. I always find it fascinating how much like Double Dragon was promoted around here. Just because, like, with how I mentioned the Nintendo's Topps cards earlier, the first set was just like Mario, Zelda, Punch Out, and Double Dragon, and those were the 4 main games. And then they released them later, and I think Double Dragon might have got taken out by Metroid. I'm not sure what Metroid replaced. I just know that they were in the second set of the Topps cards, which are like super hard to find. So you have some very cool artwork, kind of just talking about the game. Same thing with how it was with new Super Mario or Super Mario Brothers 2, just kind of showing off some tips and tricks. A lot of this stuff you're gonna know, but you got to think again, like back in the day, nobody's gonna know how to do any of this just because it's so obscure, whether video games were intentionally made like that or not. So kind of just going over the missions and stuff. I do have a card with this guy on it. I honestly have never fully beat Double Dragon. I've got a little ways through it and just never finished it for whatever reason. So maybe whenever I decide to finish it, I'll use this guide for reference, this Nintendo Power. Here's one for Gauntlet. Again, another pretty hard game that they're kind of showing off. There's a Contra spread too, which is really cool. I mean, Contra is a game that I played whenever I was first getting back in Nintendo and trying to basically play all the classic games. Of course, it's one of the first games you're going to play, and quickly you realize how fast it's going to kick your butt. Contra definitely did. It's very difficult, even with the code. I never fully beat the game, so I cannot imagine like kids back in the day just sitting down and beating this. I think we're spoiled now in this generation. Here's one for Wheel of Fortune featuring Howard and Nestor. It's very cool too, like just kind of seeing like how, and I know like the rest of the Nintendo Powers, obviously it's like focusing on the games and stuff, but you would think like how Nintendo is now, like the first issue would just be piled full of like first party stuff and everything like that, and there's like a lot of stuff that's not directly published by Nintendo, even though like at the time Nintendo was kind of like just like it's saying, like I feel like people didn't know that much about like publishers and stuff until later. I feel like everybody just saw Nintendo made all the games. Here's one for Gunsmoke, Rambo, Dragon Power. I don't know. I can't remember if this is the game that was the Dragon Ball Z game that they kind of just re-released. I feel like it is, because that looks like Shenron there, and well, yeah, because it's talking about Goku. Okay, so yeah, this was like one of the I don't know if it was the first Dragon Ball game or not to come out, but pretty cool to see. Here's the Metal Gear, Bionic Commando. Bionic Commando, I know it's a classic that I've never really played. City Connection, Victory Road, some of this stuff I've never heard of. Star Force and Freedom Force. That's kind of one of the things with like the original NES, is that's probably my least played Nintendo system. Just because I grew up with like Super Nintendo, then I went to 64, GameCube, and I kind of naturally progressed with Nintendo, and then NES has always been kind of at the very back, so I sometimes find it hard just to go back and kind of revisit those older games and everything. Here are some of the, it looks like they're showing off future releases of games, and here's actually one showing off The Legend of Zelda, kind of talking about it, saying it's going to be out in October. I don't know if that includes the chip shortage or not. I was trying to think off the top of my head, or if it would be even further delayed than that. Let's see here, Simon's Quest, of course. Everybody knows. RoboCop, I've played. Marble Madness, I've played a few of these. It's just interesting to see like up and coming titles. So here we have a players poll, and look at that box for Super Mario Brothers 2 Mario Madness. He's definitely cheesing it there. Look at all these games that you could win. And here's actually what the poll looks like. Kind of talking to, and this was a way, I feel like, kind of like how Nintendo, whenever you did the Club Nintendo, like you would get an extra 10 or 20 coins for doing a survey. Basically, that's just kind of giving Nintendo like free information away, even though there's prizes and rewards and stuff. So that's a Very cool, like Mario postcard or envelope. Very cool to see. And I guess here's where these are showing off the available games right now, with more to come. It's crazy to think at this time that, I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but just 87 different games. It's crazy to think, because I honestly can't remember how many are on the NES and the official library, but I know it's way more than that. And here's kind of just the rules and kind of the promotion and everything. Here's actually a thing for Nestor up there, if you can see. So already in the first issue, they're kind of putting him out everywhere. NES Journal, there's part of Dragon Quest. That's pretty cool, just talking about like different games that are out already and stuff. I don't know if I've ever seen this book before. For only $4.95 too, that's awesome. I'm sure that's way more now. That's very cool. I'm sure this probably come out, because I know I've seen the official Nintendo Player's Guide before, but I'm curious about that Zelda just because I've never seen it before. And it's weird too, like a Nintendo Power talking about like movies and stuff, but pretty cool to see. I mean, just overall trying to be like a pop culture magazine as well. And here's just some mailboxes. You are more than welcome to pause the video and read these. I know I've read a few that are quite quirky responses from Nintendo employees and stuff, so if you can find one of those are sometimes a gem. This is very cool. Artwork of Samus here, very neat. And here's just basically like where you could submit the high scores in for games and stuff. It's pretty cool to see. Just kind of the different scores people had, and like how much effort it would have took to take a screenshot of your TV back then. There was no digital cameras or anything, so basically you take a shot of it and pray that it comes through, and here's a little thing just kind of telling you basically how to submit your score and stuff like that. So here's just some different send-ins and stuff from players talking about some of like their accomplishments and stuff. Very cool. That's kind of stuff that like you don't really have now in like magazines and stuff, and I even noticed like in Nintendo Power, kind of like some of the magic in the later ones, it kind of gets taken away, and it really is just kind of there to be there, and that's kind of sad because you're looking at the first issue and how much like it seems like extra effort went into it, and now you're just kind of stuck here. Here are the top 30 Nintendo Power ranked NES games. Very cool. Legend of Zelda, then Punch Out. I'm glad Metroid's up there. I'm a huge Metroid fan. Beat out Mario Brothers, Kid Icarus. I'm a huge fan. So for that to be in the top 10, that's very awesome. So many solid games here. It's mind blowing. That top 5 is really just definitive, though. That's an impressive top 5. And here's just kind of like talking about how the points were found and stuff. Here's the upcoming issue and stuff, basically talking about it, and here you have a little blurb talking about working hard on Zelda 2 and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, kind of spending time hopping up Zelda 2. So I'm assuming this was after like the chip shortage and they were like ready to show it, because I know Zelda 2's on one of the earlier covers of Nintendo Power as well. And here's of course where you can subscribe and everything. Very cool advertisement though, and again you barely see the like prototype version of the magazine, and it looks like we're at the end. So thank you so much for watching along. I plan on doing more of these. The next one I want to do, it's the one that features Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door. I had that one. That was my first Nintendo Power, so I plan on looking at that one soon. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a good day.